Hi Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm CrossStitch Jess here and over on YouTube. No, this is YouTube. How am I still getting that wrong? Here and on Instagram even. In my defence, I'm doing a sherry. It is almost exactly 6 AM and I am not a morning person, but I got woken up an hour ago by the wind making our doors rattle the tiniest bit, but I'm a light sleeper, so my brain panicked that someone was in the house, and now I'm awake and I'm just accepting it and rolling with it. So bear with me. I'm doing my best for the fact that it's 6 AM. Right, what do I have for you? It has only been, I think, 2 weeks, maybe even slightly less, but I feel like a lot has happened. In fact, I think it's exactly 2 weeks, because today is Thursday. It would have been 2 weeks ago that I was releasing project bags on the Friday, and I think I filmed the day before. So 2 weeks, what has happened? We had our project bag launch. That went great, but also prompted me to actually get organised and not just be relying on Instagram. So I now have a website, yay! And by website I mean a Ko-fi or coffee page, but it now has all my bags listed. So if you are interested in that, I will pop the link. I'll be honest, there's not tons of stock left because you guys bought everything. So as always, a massive thank you to anyone who has bought a bag. It is greatly appreciated. I do have some exciting plans on the project bag front for the future, but I'm gonna wait until they happen before I share them, just because knowing me, I'll say it and then not do it, if I'm being brutally honest. But let's put it this way, I have signed up to vend at a bunch of retreats next year and this year, to be fair. I've got one in August, a Stitchy Day in August this year, and a retreat in October and a retreat in November. And then next year, I think I've definitely already signed up for 4 next year, at least. So, which is actually terrifying now that I've said it. But we have plans to make that more manageable, and to keep on top of you guys buying all the bags. So keep your eyes peeled, but in the meantime, if you want to go look at the Ko-fi, and I think you can, is it following or supporting? I don't know, you can basically subscribe. There's no like membership fee or anything, but it just means, I think, we haven't tested this yet, but I think it means that when I add new stock, you may get notified. I don't know, I'm gonna go play with that after this and try and figure it out. Ask someone who's already done that to guinea pig for me. But yeah, go check that out, and I will keep you updated here and on Instagram anyway, whenever there is some new releases coming. So outside of that, I don't even know where to begin. It was Big Stitch this weekend just gone, and I'm not going to do like a massive recap of it or anything, because plenty of people have done that. Sammy, one of the 2 organisers, has already put up a bit of a recap and a bit of a vlog of her experience and things of running it. I know various other people have talked about it, and there were people there with like a full-on like complicated tripod filming what was in their goodie bag, like within half an hour of arriving. So there will be lots of content out there for you. I'm gonna keep it high level because it's 6 in the morning and also I'm still knackered. But I did actually get some stitching done, so I've got a finish. I did manage to do my whip go goal by the skin of my teeth. That literally got finished the last day of the month. I've got a couple of whips and quite a lot of acquisitions, which I will save to the end, but they do include goodies for a future giveaway. I'm not going to do the giveaway today. Might be my 2-year anniversary in August, or it might be 1,500 subscribers when we eventually, if we eventually get there. So where to start? Let's start with whip go, because to be honest, I think this was about 500 stitches. You're probably not actually going to be able to see the difference. Dupe. But we show it every time. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that is not in shot. Pause, because my camera is clearly closer than normal. One sec. Okay, let's try that again. I've only moved you back about 3 inches, if that, but it makes a lot of difference. So this is where we're at. Again, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to see any difference. I think it's about 500 stitches. Colours wise, it was one of these bright blues in the middle. There was already a bright blue there, so there's just now slightly more bright blue. And I think a dark orange, which is so scattered in that I don't know where it is, but this is where we're at. We are on track. I have not done the stretch goals probably since February or March, but I have been keeping up with the basics of one colour per call. So we are currently halfway through the year. I think I have probably colour completed about 15 or 16 colours in total, which is not bad. This one is also in my Flosstube Frenzy, but I haven't done that this month. I think I've done one, and even that was by reassessing what my goal was for it. So it is what it is. We're going to start fresh in July. Yeah, I've always said the whole point of these goals and games is to encourage me to work on my bigger projects, because otherwise they don't get the love they need to get progressed. Again, 6 a.m. words. Yeah, but this month that was just, it wasn't bringing me joy. It was feeling a little bit stressful. I just realised I had another finish. Yeah, not that I can show you it, but yeah, whip go was the one that I really wanted to stick to. This is my oldest whip, so I really want to be able to get some progress on it. It's currently at 53%. We'll have another 12 colours complete by the end of the year, hopefully more with some of those stretch goals. And then honestly, I've not added up how many stitches that will be, but hopefully that'll get us another sort of 5% or so. It will get us some progress. It's the important thing. And then next year I need to figure out what I want to do there. Whether it's just a monthly stitch goal to keep chipping away at it. There's about 60,000 stitches left. So I don't know, we'll see. But I want to keep chipping away at that one, if nothing else. I realised I've just picked up a bag and not done this in any particular order. I did have a finish as well of the model stitch that I've mentioned a number of times. So that has now gone off back to the designer to be fully finished, ready for release, which I believe will be in August. I have filmed a little clip to show you all, but obviously I can't show that until after it's been released. So we will have a Past Jess segment at some point in the future. So this is only a Littly. So this bag has a sparkly vinyl and it sometimes leaks the odd bit of sparkle. So this is a teeny tiny one. This is a pattern from Etsy that I recharted. So I put it into my charting software manually and then shrunk it down a little bit. I think I did like 70 or 75% scale, just because this was like 6,000 stitches originally and this version's like 3,000 just by shrinking it that little bit. Yeah, technically now none of this stitching was actually done at Disneyland, but I started this before my trip to Disneyland in March, so that I had a bit of a keepsake, like a little memento of my trip. Beth and I went for my birthday, which was Lush, and yeah, I started this in DMZ. I think this is a 16 count. Maybe, no, I think it's an 18. But regardless, I started it with one strand of DMC and hated it. But hate is a strong word. I prefer not to stitch with 2 strands. I prefer 1 strand stitching. It just works better for my brain. So I got about 1,500 stitches into this. I'd done all of this ear and like sort of a third of the face, and then promptly realised that I absolutely hated the coverage. So we ripped that out, and I don't have the black to hand, but we have redone it in this Gutermann cotton 12. Come on, there we go. So this one I got from Wool Warehouse. I'm convinced that the other one I got from my local Hobbycraft, but they no longer sell it. It's just that bit chunkier. I guess it's like sulky. I have no idea what weight sulky is, but yeah, it just gives really nice coverage. And I do have a photo which I'll pop in. I wanted to film a past Jess clip to show you the difference, but I took a photo and put it on Instagram instead because I just didn't have the time that day to film, and I was so engrossed in progressing this that I wanted to finish frogging the last of the black. But yeah, cheeky little finish, and this one was finished at the Big Stitch, so that was quite fun. I did not ring the bell because I was very peopled out and I didn't particularly want to draw attention to myself when I was that peopled out. My plan for this is going to get framed, and I've got some pictures that like selfies and things that Beth and I took, so I'm going to have maybe this and a selfie as a bit of a keepsake from our trip, and a reminder that if you have the disposable income to do things that make you happy and that you have fun with, because I had the best time. It was incredible. So as always, thank you, Beth, for coming with me. Cool. That is the finish I can show you. As I said, the model stitch finish will come later. What else have we worked on? So my beaded project, my current sort of fully beaded project. So I'm not doing very well at keeping this in shot, am I? So I can't remember how much I'd done last time, but I think I've added some more up here, and we've added this cloud. I then put this, why did I put this aside? I think I just got sucked into other things. It's just been a busy couple of weeks, man. Yeah, I do want to carry on with this. I feel like I ought to apologise. Kat did call me out on the fact that I said it's only 2,000 stitches. I can totally do that by the end of the month. Clearly I could not, but also apologies for implying the 2,000 stitches was nothing. In my defence, this is fairly straightforward stitching with the beads. I'm not having to really count very far. Like for this, it's like somehow it's bead fill in. But yeah, I acknowledge that that was perhaps not the most socially acceptable way to have phrased it. I'm not planning anything specific for that one. I'd like to get it done by the end of October. It's a whip that I could easily, then again, it's a whip that I could cross off this year without too much hassle. So that will come back out, but I'm not sure when. I'll come back round to plans at the end, or after the whips. Next whip, we have Greenhouse of Oddities, and I suspect this one's going to be see-through. What can I put behind it? There we go. So we have made some nice progress on this actually. I worked across here to get in some of the black, the structure of the bench. It doesn't look like an awful lot at the moment. But my reason for doing that is I love these patterns. I really enjoyed doing this flower in the middle where it was a sort of defined object and it had a set number of colours. I think 1, 2, maybe 8 to 10 colours in that one. That was nice to get done. Coming back over here, there's just a lot going on. I'm not stitching this in the parts, so I just sort of picked whatever colour was next, but there's quite a lot of colours in this area and I found it a bit overwhelming. So what I ended up doing was getting that bit of structure in, and it has allowed me to colour complete some colours. So you'll see there's some like scattered, like some little flowers here, there's plant pots, and then in here there's a number of different colours that are just, there were sort of under 100 stitches of them across the whole pattern. So I'm really happy with the progress on that. I don't know why it took me this long to come back to the idea of colour completing, at least for those itty bitty ones. I might carry on doing that with colour completing from the lowest number of stitches upwards, and also from the 310 downwards, just because obviously getting 310 in helps with that structure. But also I made a bunch of mistakes, minor mistakes that I think I've successfully fudged, but this bit just, it was a couple of months ago now, but this was not the one. So my logic is if I fill in from the bottom up, it almost, like, I'll hit the point where fudging that doesn't matter too much, because everything that needs to go in that section of the greenhouse will be in first. Again, I'd like to carry on working on this. I'd like this done by the end of October. Where are we at? We have, bearing in mind the percentage on this is a bit off because I'm not planning to stitch either of the people in this scene, but as it stands I'm at 55.91% on this one. And I think I've added like a good 1,000 stitches this month. So it's definitely not, and that wasn't even really focusing on it, that was just a bit here and there. So I don't think it's impossible. It's about 7,000 stitches left by October, which I can do. I know I could do that. That's doable. Again, probably less because of the people, although that does mean I have to make some creative decisions, but we are getting there. It's on track. Last whip then, last cross stitch whip at least. So I completely forgot last time to talk about this being a sal. This is the Mystical Magpies 2 for Joy from the Needlelot Designs book, which I believe is called Fantasy Cross Stitch. I totally should know that, but yeah. So Rosie, the lovely Rosie from Rosie X Stitches, showed this on her channel and said that she was planning to start it, and I messaged saying that's on my to start list as well. I was trying to wangle in my head that it was going to be a new design in November because I UFO'd to restart my only other Needlelot designs, but yeah, Sarah from Stitchy Bug also wanted to start this, so I think we got stuck in at the end of May. And this has been really handy over the weekend for Big Stitch. It's like interesting enough to not be boring, but not so complicated that I've made mistakes. I saw a Flosstube of someone going to Big Stitch talking about having prepared by outlining some areas on her whips or having stuff where she just had fill in. So whilst there at the hotel on the Friday night, I prepared this bird. So all of this middle section here is due to be filled in. And I then proceeded to not do that and instead stitch the tail and the wing and all of these blue bits. But we are getting there. Some of these blues have now been colour completed. I love it. So yeah, a bunch of other people have joined us in stitching this. So we do have an Instagram group. If you are stitching this as well and want to join us, give myself or Rosie or Sarah a shout and we will all happily add you. I've really enjoyed seeing the different fabrics that everyone's picked. Some people have gone for the standard blue. I've obviously, I say standard, a similar blue to what the model was stitched on. I had this piece on order from Coffee Crafts in their sale, and I decided to do the sale between ordering it and it arriving. So it was fated. But yeah, I love it. And it's nice, easy, like chunks of stitching for something like a retreat. Right, I think that is all of the stitching. I do have my crochet though. So I think this has been in the last 2 weeks. I honestly can't remember. But we have my crochet cardie. So the other half is upstairs. I didn't think to grab both halves. But I have now finished both of my main yarn cakes, and I have acquired mini cream. So this is like the outer edge colour. That has allowed me to make sure I have at least one full round of that colour, because previously I'd only got like halfway around the outside. I now need to do the same with the other one, finish the round I was on, and then I am planning to do like an extension on just one side, so that when it becomes a cardigan, that will be the back. Hang on, let me rearrange again. So I'm going to over exaggerate the extension so you can see what I mean. So the back will essentially get extended so that it, at the back of your neck, it's got space, and the sleeves, the sides come in sort of on either side of the neck rather than meeting in the middle of the back. So we'll do like maybe, oh God, it's going to be quite a few, isn't it? Like 5 or 6 extension rows on either side, and then they'll meet in the middle, and that will hopefully give us a sort of 5 or 6 inch neck gap effectively in the middle. We are getting close though. I feel like I need to start thinking about what my bedtime yarn project is going to be. It should probably be the Entrelac blanket, but we will see. But I want to show you that because it's exciting, and I definitely, with the big yarn cake, in both halves, I hit a point where it became quite fragile. I was like, I'm too scared to move it, so I'm just going to crochet for the entire day to get it done. So that is that. Hopefully, I'm not going to say it'll be done next time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've never woven in ends on crochet before. I've never attached 2 pieces of crochet, so we've still got all that to figure out. But we'll get there. It'll be fine. So that brings me on to plans and acquisitions. So we are wrapping up Jewel Tone June with the sparkly beads and the beautiful fabric from the greenhouse and the Magpies, and we are moving into Jolly July. So what do I have in mind? I have 2 projects that are Christmas or winter themed that I would like to get some good work on and maybe even finish. So the first is Quaker Snowflakes. So this is another beady project that I'm doing. So this is with the teeny tiny size 15 beads. I was inspired to stitch this by Sherry from Just So Sherry, who did it in this colourway but not beads, with cross stitch thread. And I am therefore using this as my Flosstube Frenzy project for Sherry. So every time she posts a video, I am supposed to put 100 stitches in this, 100 beads. I have not done that for the last 2 months because May was monogamous May and June just didn't happen. But my plan was always for Jolly July to basically double up. So all of the however many videos Sherry has posted in June, I will put 200 stitches, 200 beads per video into this project. And just because I do want to keep on top of this one, if nothing else, I probably will go back and do the April and May, or May and June beads as well. So with all of that, I think I probably owe this about 2,000 beads, and we only have, okay, we have like probably about 3,350 left to go on this, but we should get a good chunk of the way. And to be honest, I suspect this might be one where once I've picked up steam with it, I might just keep going. I I'm not sure you'll be able to see it in the picture in the corner. I'm undecided whether to do the glad tidings at the bottom. I might change it to something like let it snow, seeing as it's all snowflakes, but I also might just leave it off, which will knock a chunk of the stitches off. I might actually have cut it so that I have to do that. I don't know. I need to get to the bottom of a tree and figure that out, really. And if necessary, mark them off on my pattern so I have a more accurate count of what I've got left. But that is focus number 1 for the month. Second up, and this is creeping into an acquisition, but you'll see why. Second up, we have my, that linen has suffered. Sorry, it's going to get cut off anyway. These are my Victoria Sampler mini Christmas crackers. I started these July last year, and as you can see, I have finished the angel and we have finished the snowman. But to be brutally honest, I did not love stitching these on linen. There's an amount of pearl cotton. The pearl cotton is a little bit stiff, and as you can see, the linen is very soft and floopy, and it felt like the two were waging war, and I'm honestly not sure who won. But it wasn't an enjoyable stitching experience. So we have, in fact, I've just realised I think there might be some buttons across the bottom here that are missing. I think I was on a hunt for the right shade and size of little hearts. What I've done though, because I originally bought a second piece so that we had 2 on one colour and 2 on the other, we're sacking that off, and I bought a new piece at the weekend. So this is a 20 count even weave from Coffee Crafts. It is a little bit smaller, but I believe these get trimmed down to like pretty close to the edge of the stitching to get turned into the crackers. They're basically like the 2 edges. I'm explaining that really badly. The 2 edges of the stitching essentially get looped around, stitched together, and then turned inside out to make a little continuous tube for the cracker. So I don't think I need a ton of margin, and if I fold this in half and fold one of those in half, it should fit fine with a little bit of margin on either side. I just need to be careful how I position them. So it's sort of a creamy coffee dye kind of vibe. So it's slightly different to the one I had, which is more beige, but I think they'll look really good together. I'm looking forward to having these done so that I can have them up on my tree at Christmas. So those are the 2 sort of theme plans. If they go really well, I do have a new start that I've currently got down for November, for my new design in November, that I might bring forwards, but that will be like later in the month, because I do have another model stitch on the go just off screen, not to taunt you or anything, but I suspect that's going to take me the better part of a week and a half to 2 weeks. And then with Whip Go, which I will maintain, and these 2 projects, and hopefully getting a bit of Flosstube Frenzy back, I don't want to overcommit, and I'd rather only start that extra project if I think I can like start it and get some really good progress on it. So for now, Whip Go, Quaker Snowflakes, and Christmas crackers, and the model stitch are my 4 main focuses for the month. And the crochet cardigan, which is kind of tangential because it's my bedtime wind down craft. So that is all of the stitching and the plans, which brings us on to acquisitions and Big Stitch. So very briefly, for anyone who hasn't heard of it, although at this point, if you're watching Flosstube and you haven't heard of it, I'm genuinely impressed because it feels like it's all anyone is talking about. Big Stitch is, to the best of my knowledge, one of the biggest stitching retreats in the UK. This time I believe it had around 190 attendees, and I am going to take a punt at about 15 vendors. maybe slightly more, maybe closer to 20, I'm not sure. So it was big. It was this last weekend and it's held in Rotherham at the Magna Science Centre. And it was a lot of fun. I think I've realised for me personally, it's perhaps slightly too big. I feel like I saw a lot of people, as in like walked past them on the way to the refreshments area, but like my brain can't process that many faces. So if I saw you but didn't say hello, it's not because I didn't want to say hello, it's because my brain literally couldn't keep up with like who I knew, who I didn't know, who I knew from Flosstube but hadn't met in person but wanted to say hello to. I feel like for the most part, I only really chatted with people I already knew or people who I knew of through Flosstube and who in several cases clearly knew me through Flosstube. But yeah, I didn't feel like I socialised much, but also I was really peopled out the whole time. It was a really weird one. It was like my cup is both full and empty at the same time kind of vibes. So it was a lot of fun. I do have, I believe Sammy has talked about this on her Flosstube. Someone did say that it had been mentioned. So the big stitch is only every other year. So the next one will be in 2028. But the years in between, they're planning to do like a marketplace style event. And I can't quite work out whether that's leaning towards being like the Knit and Stitch show, which is like a big shopping convention style thing here in the UK, in a couple of different cities, or whether it's more aligning with like Nashville Needlework Marketplace, and the hope is that designers will have new releases for it. I think it might be a mashup of both, but I think my plan is to go and give that a try. I think a lot of my problem was that there were all of the people all at once and my brain couldn't process it. I'm hoping that by going to like the shopping one, I've only ever got like the people on the other side of the table or the people immediately around me to interact with at any given time. So it's like a little bit of a filtered pool of how many faces my brain is having to cope with at any given time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. A bunch of friends are already planning to go as well. I believe if you're interested, tickets get released, I think Sammy said, in September. And the idea is for attendees, you go for a couple of hours rather than like there won't be a big stitchy room for everyone to sit and stitch. There'll be breakout areas for people to take a rest, but for the most part the idea is you come and go again. Like you come, you browse and shop at all the shops, and then you head off again. I think there'll be a lot more shops, so it'll, yeah. Anyway, had a lot of fun. I think smaller retreats are probably where my preference is at for the future. But that is not to say that I didn't enjoy it and make a lot of purchases. So I don't even know where to begin. There's so much stuff here. So I've split up my acquisitions into 4 different groups. So things I bought for me, things I bought for you guys for a giveaway, the goodies that we got in our goodie bag, and then some of the goodies that I've been given by other people. I have already put away some things just because it was chaos and I needed some form of order. But I'm going to start with the things I bought for me because they happen to be on the top. So first up, from the lovely, I haven't taken a price off but whatever, from the lovely Cheryl at Stitching Woodcrafts, I bought this gorgeous bead case. So it's printed wood and has 9 sections in there for different beads. So for the beaded piece with the text in the middle, the going into a spiral, this is going to be perfect because sometimes like swapping between beads is a bit of a faff. I have ordered the sticky bead mats. I have ordered a couple of new ones, partly because mine is getting a bit gross and grimy, and I know you can wash them, but I feel like it's time for a fresh one. But I'm also hoping to try and trim or cut those out to fit in some of these slots to keep my beads nice and secure. but I might try it without first just to see how well it works. So that is purchase number 1, and it's got this gorgeous, gorgeous peacock style print on it. Love that. Next up is a fabric acquisition. So this was an addition, or a sort of support act, I guess, for purchases that I made at the end of May. So you will have seen these threads last time, and the fabric in the back, this is this peach colour is some even weave. Yeah, even weave. But I also picked up this vintage rose 40 count even weave from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. I thought that went really well with those thread colours as well. So I'm going croaky. My nose is now feeling blocked. Not doing very well here. So other fabric acquisitions, which I'm going to try and crinkle as little as possible. So Megan from Coffee Craft Fabrics had a little sort of grab bag rack with these little 11 by 11s. It's where my piece for the crackers came from, but this is a 46 count linen. It's just a little piece. I figured why not? I'd try some 46 count, because why not? Why not? That's not where that needs to go. We also got a gorgeous piece of 20 count. I do love that Megan does tend to do 20 counts. This is not showing up great in the lighting. Can I, hang on, warmer? It's a little bit better. It's kind of greens and purples and dark greys. Green over here. But the green is throughout. It's just the green specifically appears to be washing out a little bit. But yeah, lovely piece of 20 count, and as I said, I do like that she does have 20 count, because a lot of hand dyers don't or don't have them readily accessible. So yay for that. We got this doesn't actually have, oh yeah, purple thread. So another set of little Christmas crackers. I think in the past I've said that I wanted to do like a little ornament set each year, so I did the stockings 2 years ago. Is it only 2 years? And then I was planning to finish off the Victoria Sampler crackers last year, but didn't because of aforementioned issues. But I figured these would make a cute one for the future. So that one's from the Purple Thread, who I hadn't heard of. I believe she's from the States. But yeah, it was cute and instantly sold me. Next up, I have had my eye on this since November last year when I went to the Knit and Stitch. There's a card on the front, but it's the same as the pattern. So this is Bramble Thicket Scissor Fob from Blue Coppice, and Bethany, who is the designer behind Blue Coppice, did a talk, and it was really fascinating to hear the story behind how she, her creative process essentially. She has these big samplers that she designs based on sort of a fantasy world of like a grand country estate in different seasons, and then the smaller pieces are sort of spin-offs from each of those bigger samplers. So it was just really cool. But yeah, this is my floofy tailed squirrel that was on my my new design in November list. So you won't be seeing this for a little while, but he will be hopefully a start and finish in November. Next up we have Night Riders from the lovely Love Poppet. I was very lucky to get to hang out with Claire. We sat and chatted mostly on the Saturday evening. We went back to the hotel and had food and hung out with Kate as well. And yeah, Kate picked this one up on the Sunday, and it's one I've had my eye on since it came out. That moon, man, is just, sorry, ring light glare, That moon is just incredible, like the patterning and the fact that it's clearly got multiple colours but they sort of blend so beautifully together. I just love it. I'm not a massive Halloween-y kind of stitcher, but for this one I will be. I don't have a particular plan for starting that one. I have done a Love Poppet before, and in fact I'm going to pause the acquisitions because I have exciting news. So a couple of years ago, I think it was a couple of years ago now, I stitched this piece, which is, oh gosh, sorry, that glare is horrendous. So this was the Dreaming of Summer Sow by Love Poppet, and I customised to put my own house in. And if I can get it in, you can see that little black dot in the window at the top is Alfie, because that's his spot where he eagerly waits for you to come home. It's very cute. And I decided way back then that if she does the other seasons, I will do the same thing and convert to my house and add Alfie in. And she may have dropped the hint at the weekend that the Dreaming of Winter Sal is in design progress, so I am hoping that will be out this winter. I am very, very excited. It will be my first piece that I actually have more than one season that I can sub in and out. So this one currently lives up on our living room shelf, slightly out of shot, but that will be, I'm just so excited. So if you're interested in that and you haven't already, you can go on her website and there's like a newsletter which will be where she announces that one. So go sign up. My last personal acquisition was one of the exclusive charts. So check in the glare. So this is the Full Fox family from Flosstube. A lot of alliteration there, I like it. And the lovely Lauren is one of the designers that I model stitch for, and I was so excited to get to meet her at the weekend. We were sat on a table together. But yeah, having model stitched for her for over a year now, it was lush to actually be able to meet her and give her a hug. And I got to meet Mama Flossability's Lynn as well, which was really lovely. Really, really loved that. Yay! So that was all my personal acquisitions. What next? Let's do, this is next on the pile. So this is the exclusive, not the exclusives, the goodie bag even. Oh, and the Stacey Nash. So fish everything out. Not everything is in here because I've already put the mug away. We also got a mug. So you got your lanyard for getting in and out. We got a little sticker with a little charm in there. It says 2026. A little puffin needle minder. You might be spotting a theme here. The theme of the event was puffins. The Stacey Nash crackers design is this one. So puffling, little one, and a little flag. And I have promised this one to Sophie because she was very excited for this. So that's going in the post shortly. We have the Old Barn. Yeah. I always get confused because I think her design brand is Old Barn Stitching Co, but her Instagram and Flosstube and things are Little Loop Stitching. So this is from Sammy, one of the organisers. With the little puff in there. Very cute. And then lastly, slightly rattly, this one is from Corey's Little Shop, and this one is fully kitted, so you get the threads, the beads and the piece of fabric in there. Super cute. I feel like there was probably more. I think there were a bunch of like leaflets and business cards and all sorts of other bits in here that I have clearly already put away and tidied up in an attempt to bring some kind of order to my life after how much stuff I came home with. But those were the charts that came in the bag. Right, next up, in fact, I'm detouring slightly. We're ducking out a big stitch for 2 seconds because I will forget them otherwise. Some non-big stitch acquisitions. So my thread club this month was too pretty to not show you. So these I get from Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery. There are usually 5. The fact that there are 6, I think it means is a 6-month anniversary of me signing up. I think you get an extra for free every 6 months, so that the numbers balance across the whole thing. So gorgeous sort of autumnal colours, absolutely stunning. Couldn't not show you those. My other 2 acquisitions, which I'd actually ordered before the last video but have only just arrived. So the first is my Dimensions kit, and this is very similar to some of our decoration at our wedding. The flower colours are quite different. I might change those blues to be sort of dark reds or sort of purpley colours, but the jars, and even to the extent of them being hung on the wall, is it like exactly the vibe of our wedding. I've started one Dimensions kit and UFO'd it, so I'm considering this to be a new designer, and that one will get started in November. One thing I wanted to ask advice on, I have, I think, contacted the right place to ask if there's any chance of getting a PDF. Has anyone had any joy with that? I know the parent company has gone bust, but I believe Dimensions got bought out, so I was kind of hopeful. But if anyone has any experience or knows who I need to contact for that, please let me know. If necessary, I will digitize it myself, but obviously if someone's already done it, and that if the company is willing to give it out with proof of purchase, that would be a lot easier. So that is one, and then my other kit, which I think was due to arrive the day that I filmed, trying to crinkle as little as possible. So this is the Ava cross stitch mermaid sanctuary. So inspired by this one by Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny, I really love the idea with the Ava and what's the other one? Is it Letty Stitch? That do a lot of like half stitch. I really like the effect. I've realised since getting this that actually there's not a ton of half stitch in it. It's just in the sky at the top, but it's just too pretty. So it's a full kit. It's my first time doing one of these, and with this one I have managed to get a copy of the digital pattern. It was a very easy process. So that one is loaded in Saga, and again ready to go for new design in November. So I'm almost there, I promise. What time are we on? We're under an hour still. So the second last chunk of stuff that I wanted to show you. Oh, things falling out left, right and centre. Oh no, that means there's a loose pants. There's a loose magnet somewhere. That's annoying. Okay, so a little selection of table goodies and other gifts that I received. So first up, from the lovely Kayla and Lauren, Kayla made these beautiful bags and thread beds. They were all different, they all had different fabrics, got a lovely starry fabric on the inside. But yeah, this is the one I picked. It's a great job. I think Kayla was being quite self-deprecating about them, but they are beautiful. You did a great job. Thank you so much. I love it. Oh, there's my missing, hang on, it's my missing magnet. So also from Kayla and Lauren was this cute little needle minder. I think these are made with like polymer clay or something. So super cute handmade little needle minder to add to my collection. I have to apologise, I don't know this lady's name. She came round with the most ginormous bag of bags for everyone to pick from. So I picked this one. It's a little patchwork bag. And I'm going to circle back to this. I've got a couple of Flosstube recommendations in a minute. I'm going to circle back to this because I picked this one. I picked this shape and size for a reason that I will come back to. So let's put that there so I don't forget it. What else do we have? So from Lauren, from Flosstabilities, she had made these beautiful needle minders. I'm just saying words now. These beautiful floss drops. And I love that there's like a good number of them on there. I think sometimes when you get like fancy floss drops like this, there's like 3 of them or 5 of them on a card, and like I guess that's useful if you're doing a monochrome project, but it's really nice to have a bit more of a good chunk. So thank you, Lauren, they were lovely. So what have we got in this one? I think this one was from Arlene, who is stitching in the Fens, and she gifted us some gorgeous scissors with a lovely tassel, a lovely little bag. Can never have too many scissors, so perfect. We have is this one also Kayla and Lauren? Having a blank. Apologies if I've got this wrong. I think this might also have been Kayla and Lauren, and I'm guessing that because these are the same little cards. So it's another little needle minder. I'm not sure if these ones are also handmade. But the back has a cute little button on it. The front has the cute little heart. So yeah, love that. And then there's a little scissor fob or back charm that says Big Stitch. So I think Taylor and Lauren came around like 3 separate times with different goodie bags, with the project bags and then the needle minders and then the little goodie bag, so lots of goodies. And then lastly from my table, from Kate, there were some little frog post-it notes, which is super cute. Kate went frog themed. We've got a frog sticker as well. Another pair of scissors and a cute little frog bag charm. Oh, that is not focusing. Sorry if none of this is focused. There we go. So yeah, some really lovely gifts. Massive thank you to my table mates for a lovely weekend. It was lush hanging out with you all. Ooh. Right, try and pull that back. So the bag. In fact, no, sorry. Last little set of stuff. I need the cushion back for this one so stuff doesn't escape. So I also decided while I was there and I had access to all these lovely UK small businesses that I would buy some goodies for future giveaways. So first of all, from Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery, and she has gifted me some of these goodies as well. So some of this is purchased, some of it is gifted. So we have one of the unique stitch kits, and also from Wonderland Crafts we have one of their little wooden frames for stitching Mill Hills. Also from Rachel, I went for a couple of these lovely cottage garden threads, and I didn't really intend it, but we've gone for a sea theme by this point, so I kind of locked in and stuck with the sea theme. So those were all from Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery. From Stitching Woodcrafts, the same place as my bead case, I got these 2 cute little needle minders. And then the fabric is, this one is from Crafty Kate, and it is a linen, 28 count linen. And from Coffee Crafts we went for an 18 count Aida. So 2 fabrics, 2 threads. We went for Whale of a Time from Love Poppet. And this one was a gift with my purchase, so from the purple thread, this little strawberry cushion. So we have a nice little stash of goodies, pattern, a kit, 2 fabrics, 2 threads, 2 needle minders. So I think that is forming in my head into 2 little bundles. As I said, I don't have a set plan for when to do that giveaway, but watch this space, I guess. When we either hit a 2-year milestone or a subscriber milestone, we'll do a giveaway. So I'm just jumping back to my notes so I don't get anyone's name wrong. So finally, some Flosstube recommendations to wrap up. So the first one, and cycling back to this, is, I hope I'm not pronouncing this horrendously, I'm really sorry if I am, Caro Kirsch. is a Flosstube that I do really enjoy. I've watched a number of her videos, but the one that I wanted to shout out specifically, she's done one recently about thread organization, and she makes like a cool master set thing that almost like lives in a project bag. It uses thread cards, but she has a really cool method for like parking partially used threads, and the whole concept got me thinking specifically about my Gecko Rouge, and specifically because most of the others I'm doing weird things with the threads, like I've kitted it up myself or I've used a thread roll. But for B, which is one of my, well, it is my only Lola lane, I am working from the original thread cards, and I do find it to be a bit of a challenge. So I was planning to make one, but then, as I said, the lady came around with these and it's just, I think, the perfect size. So I am planning to adapt this into, well, I say adapt, literally all I need to do is perhaps add a buttonhole on either side. But I am planning to use this to keep my bee threads organised. So hopefully I will get that done over the next month or so and be able to show you. But yeah, that was just, I'd literally watched it a day or two before the big stitch, and then that was the perfect size, so perfect. But do go and give, I should have written down her actual name. I think it might actually be Caro. I'm not sure. I'm really sorry. But go give her a watch. The thread organisation setup that she has, I've never seen anyone else do it like it. I think she did say she'd seen it on another Flosstube, but I've never come across it before. So yeah, if you like floss drops but find floss drops messy, it was really cool. Definitely go check it out. I've got two other Flosstube mentions. So one is Hannah's Happy Place. She is just so bubbly, and she's based in Devon, where I grew up, which is really, like, I don't know, just nostalgia. But she really is, she's so happy, and it's just really fun watching her share her cross stitch. And then lastly, Curly Q Stitcher. So I've watched a couple of her videos before, but again, she's very softly spoken, but also bubbly, and she's just so cheerful. I really enjoy watching her videos. So if you are looking for someone to go watch after this, I would highly recommend any of those three. They're all great Flosstubers who you should go subscribe to. Go give them some support. So I think that's everything. We are just over an hour, but I'm sure there will be some cuts, so hopefully it will be less than an hour for you guys. Thank you for joining me this morning, and yeah, I hope you have a great day of stitching. I hope the weather is good wherever you are, whatever good weather means to you, and I will catch you later on in July to see how I get on with my Jolly July. Bye for now.